brainstem. And here is the lower portions. I have made so many colors, right? That is your medulla oblongata, and the upper one is pons, and over that you are having the midbrain. So we don't bother about the midbrain, right? We will concentrate only the medulla and pons. So first I want to talk about the medulla oblongata. In the spotters, we will be asking you three important questions in medulla oblongata. Number one, I have colored it in blue color, dark blue color, right? This one, number one, I have mentioned here. That one is the pyramid. Number two, both the sides it will be there. One half only I am showing you. So this is the pyramid, and the next one nicely you can see a oval shaped structure which is given in red color. Okay, that is your olive. Okay, and the third one it is given in purple color, that is your inferior cerebellar peduncle. So what we are talking about is medulla. Medulla, the spotter number one is, sir will put the pin over the dark blue color area, that is your pyramid. Okay, pyramid is the lower present in the lower part of the medulla oblongata, where the corticospinal tract takes decussate. That is the lower. What is pyramid is? Pyramid is a area where the you can see the corticospinal tract, that is called pyramid. The decussation of the pyramid only takes place in the lower part. So this is your pyramid. Just corticospinal tract is called as pyramid. Okay, this is pyramid. Number two, the red color structure is, I said, olive. So the sub question is, olive is produced by. The answer is, it is produced by the underlying inferior olivary nucleus. Okay, number two. Number three, third purple color is, I said, inferior cerebellar peduncle. Inferior cerebellar peduncle connection we will ask. Okay, so what will you write? It connects the medulla to the cerebellum. So name one important tract goes via the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Next question we will ask you. So inferior cerebellar peduncle connects, you only told, medulla to the cerebellum. So medulla, what do you have? Nearby nucleus olive is there. So olive to cerebellum, if a tract goes, what is the name? Olivocerebellar. So you can easily write olivocerebellar tract goes via that. Then the second one is, you are all awake. Okay, and sometimes when you sleep, your upper limb and lower limb are the tone won't be so good. So what happens? If you want to be awake, you want one important system by the name reticular activating system. The reticular activating system is present beneath this only. So reticulocerebellar, reticulum to cerebellar, if something goes, it will also go via this only. So all these tracts are going through that. Number three, spinal cord is down. So spine to cerebellar, posterior spinocerebellar, it is going. Don't write about anterior spinocerebellar, it is not going via this. So I want the students should write at least minimum 4 tracts. Tract number 1 is olive to cerebellum, olivocerebellar, reticular to cerebellum, reticulocerebellar, spinal cord to cerebellum. That spinal cord to cerebellum, you have to be very careful. You can write spinocerebellar, that is posterior spinocerebellar, and cuneo-cerebellar. Cuneo means only upper limb. So cuneo to cerebellar, upper limb to cerebellar. So spinocerebellar, don't write as a common word. You can write it as posterior spinocerebellar and cuneo-cerebellar. Why I am stressing upon this is, anterior spinocerebellar tract will not go via this. That is a point, right? So that's all about this. And then next spotter is, we will put the pin in that small slender nerve comes from between this blue and the red color small nerve. So identify this groove and give name the nerve emerges out through this, like that is a question. So as a student you should know, medulla is a lower part of the brainstem. So it contains 9, 10, 11 and 12 cranial nerves. It means last 4 cranial nerves. So 9, 10, 11, 12. Previous video I showed the foramen. In that, hypoglossal foramen is medial and the jugular foramen is lateral. Hypoglossal foramen transmits hypoglossal nerve and jugular foramen transmits 9, 10, 11 cranial nerves. So obviously answer is, which one is medial? Hypoglossal canal. So obviously this nerve is hypoglossal nerve. So when we put the pin, you have to identify the pinned area as anterolateral sulcus, because the one which is in the center, this one, okay, this one is anteromedian. So this comes the anterolateral between the blue color and the red color. So anterolateral sulcus, and the nerve emerges out through that is hypoglossal nerve. That is a very important spotter. Next spotter is between the olive and the inferior cerebellar peduncle, between the red color and the purple color, I have drawn 3 nerves are coming out. So it means jugular foramen. Nerves coming out through jugular foramen are coming out through this. So 9, 10, 11 cranial nerves are coming out through this. So these are all the important spotters in medulla. So medulla, again I repeat summary. Pyramid, we will ask. Pyramid is just corticospinal tract is pyramid. Okay, the decussation of the corticospinal tract happens in the lower medulla. This happens in this pyramid is present in the upper medulla. You can see that. 1. Number 2 question is olive, produced by inferior olivary nucleus. Number 2. Number 3, inferior cerebellar peduncle connects the medulla to the cerebellum. 3 over. And the fourth question is anterolateral sulcus nerve emerging out, hypoglossal. And then fifth one is posterolateral sulcus nerves emerging out, 9, 10, 11 cranial nerves. And the tracts which are all present in the inferior cerebellar peduncle. Now, if the medial part of the medulla is affected, it means the spinal arteries are supplying over here. If they are cut off or if there is any thrombosis, what will happen? You will get medial medullary syndrome. Medial medullary syndrome, which nerve will be affected? Hypoglossal. But when you come down to the lateral side of the medulla, here cerebellum is there. So the artery supplies over this area is called posterior inferior cerebellar artery. Imagine this is cerebellum, the posterior part of the cerebellum is here. That's why posterior inferior cerebellar artery supplies over this area. So if the lateral part of the medulla is affected, that is called pica syndrome or posterior inferior cerebellar artery syndrome. So this pica syndrome, the nerves involved are 9, 10, 11 cranial nerves along with the cerebellum. Don't forget this. Okay, so this is all about the spotters in the medulla. Next we will see the spotters in the spons. Thank you.